Hey, this is Dani, and I'm wanting to do a little bit more processing right now around something that is coming up for me. And so now is normally the time I would go to my journal, but journaling, it takes so long. And then I tried to do it on my computer, and that hasn't, because I can type faster than I can write longhand. And I don't know how well that works either. I've tried it all. So I'm going to try like actually verbally processing something right now that I haven't even really given a lot of thought to, but I think it can still be helpful. So you know probably that I am doing the intuitive eating program, and there are 10 principles to intuitive eating. I'm doing some videos about it on my other channel periodically, but eventually I'll bring all that stuff over here because I don't think most of the van life people aren't tuned into the intuitive eating thing, so that's okay. But I started it over there and I said I was going to do 10, so I'm going to do 10. But I was working through it on Principle 9, and Principle 9 is about movement and how good it is, and just concentrating on the movement of your body and not all these parameters like so many minutes, so many inclines, so much heart rate, so much blah blah blah, and going by the numbers. And but one of the powerful things it was talking about is decoupling exercise with dieting, because so many times, if you're anything like me, you would start exercise and dieting at the same time, or like within the same program. Like I've had diets before where it's like you don't start the exercise until a few weeks in, and then they'll maybe focus on it a little more or whatever, just start with the eating and then work on movement or whatever. So I have done that for sure, coupled up dieting and exercising. And if I'm eating like crap, I'm probably not exercising. And if I am exercising, then I'm trying to diet or whatever. They do go pretty hand in hand. Now, within the last few years, as I have given up dieting for the most part, or tried to until now, I still would have that thing where if I felt like my eating was going well, I'm probably exercising. If I felt like it wasn't, I'm like, what's the use or whatever. They had all these common traps in the book that they were talking through, and I was like, I fell into all these, like, oh, it's not worth it, or if I'm not working up a sweat, then it's not worth it, and if I'm not eating well anyway, then it's not worth it. Well, it's all worth it. Okay, but that isn't even what this talk is about. This talk is about the idea of decoupling. And what I realized after I did my study last night of this chapter, and now, so how I do it is I'll ingest a chapter, I'll read and highlight or whatever, listen to it on Audible, do whatever I'm going to do, and then I set an intention that week to have it be more presence of mind, more top of mind, so that I can think about how it impacts me, and think about how to incorporate it, all those kinds of things. Have little awarenesses right through the week regarding that topic. So I was going to bed right after studying the material, and yesterday was a very good day. I was productive, blah 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 blah. But late in the day, I notice I have another coupling. Another coupling that I have is food and TV. So if I tell myself I'm going to just relax and watch some TV or whatever, I tend to want to eat at the same time. And last night I had a really productive, great day. I went to a movie and then I came home. And when I was done with my stuff, I thought, I'm going to sit and watch TV for a couple of hours before it's time for bed. I mean, that was my wild Saturday night, right? So I did that, but about halfway through my TV watching, I wasn't hungry, but I was reaching for food. And I was kind of noticing that I wasn't hungry and that I was reaching for food, but having the awareness of it wasn't enough to really stop me, but I was kind of aware that that's what I was doing. And I've been noticing this watch TV, eat something at the same time kind of coupling that has been going on for me for a very long time. It's like when you're young and they do all the all the refreshment commercials at the beginning of movies and stuff, like were really triggered, especially like going to a movie theater. There were years where I could not go to a movie theater without popcorn and Diet Coke. Now, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but I like to have it. So anytime I'm watching TV, though, is a food time. And I don't watch that much TV, but when I do, I really do. Anyway, so it's later at night. I notice I'm eating when I'm not hungry. And even though I'm not completely conscious of it, I have a judgment against myself. Like, you're eating and you're not hungry. Like, how silly is that, right? But I'm not consciously thinking this. Well, then I have other I have other nighttime routines that I'm trying to build in. I have a habit tracker. And a couple of them are brushing my teeth before bed, which sounds kind of lame to some people who have been brushing their teeth before bed since they were kids, and good for you. You're amazing. But I'm trying to build better habits with my oral health. So one of the things on my list to try to do before bed is to brush my teeth. Another thing to try to do before bed is to meditate again. And I didn't do either one of those. And the thing is, it was not only the coupling of the eating and the not being hungry and noticing that and judging myself for that, but then there's like this whole, well, I've already blown it, so I'm not going to do any of the other good stuff either. I have this whole thing of, if I'm not meeting my own expectations or what I think I should do, then just F it all. I have this kind of all or nothing mentality. I have this kind of all or nothing thing. And I just noticed, I had never really noticed this before. I knew I had the all or nothing thing kind of, but this idea of the coupling, it's like there are couplings all over the place. There are these connections. And it's like once I judge myself and say, you're not doing it right, or it hasn't gone to plan, then just screw the rest of it, because it doesn't matter. It's not enough to make a difference. I've already blown it. I've already blown my day. So tomorrow's a new day. We'll start over tomorrow. And I thought honestly, if I wasn't judging myself and having that shame, having that, ooh, I did wrong, and I did wrong. I did not what I wanted and not what I know I'm capable of, right? Like, I fell short, and I have this judgment against myself, and then it builds on all the rest of the stuff for the rest of the day or whatever, because screw it, because it's not worth it or whatever. I've always noticed I've done that with food. Whenever I was on a diet, if I messed up in the morning, I was like, well, today's blown anyway. I'm just going to eat whatever I want and I'll start over tomorrow. I always had that attitude, but I never realized how prevalent it was in other parts of my life that I'm trying to change and trying to grow and trying to do better. So this is a big one. This is big, because having this awareness doesn't mean, here's the other thing. Having the awareness doesn't mean the pattern will stop overnight. It just means I'm one step closer. And it also means if I hadn't noticed the pattern, it probably never would have stopped. But this way, I have a chance. This way, it's just one more step as we go down the line, right? It's one more step. It's not you have the awareness and then it immediately changes like, oh, look, I'm doing this. Well, logically, I know that doesn't make sense. So now I'm never going to do it again. That's another thing where we judge ourselves. I'm speaking for myself. I would judge myself very harshly if I would have an awareness. Oh, look, you're eating when you're not hungry. Like that was mine last night. And then do it anyway. Also, if I have an awareness like, oh, look, I just did one thing wrong and now I'm giving up on my whole day, giving up on myself. Look at that. I'm not saying that behavior is going to change overnight, but I am saying, having the awareness and making the connections is the first step to that change. And whether that change takes the next time, I just go ahead and do it. Go ahead and brush my teeth anyway, even though I've been a terrible person and overate when I wasn't hungry, or whether it takes one more time or 100 more times, as long as I don't give up, I will get there. As long as I don't give up, I'll get there. That is such a new thing for me that I have started lately. If I don't give up, then I will get there. Because before I was so interested in, I want to get from A to B with the shortest time possible, go direct A to B, do not pass go, do not stop, do not collect $200, do not do any of it. Just get there in the shortest period of time. And that often meant, it just led me to do all kinds of things. I did fasting. I've fasted before for 2 weeks, 13 or 14 days. It's led me to do all kinds of things just to get to A to B faster. But now my attitude is baby steps. And as long as I don't give up, I'll get there. As long as I don't give up, I'll get there. Because I know where I want to go. I know the path I want to be on, and I'm on it. So all I have to do is not give up. And so maybe there's an area in your life where you can see this pattern. And maybe it has nothing to do with eating, but maybe it's something else. And so I hope this helps someone today. And I feel like it's helped solidify it in my mind. And whenever I do that, then I feel like there's a better chance that that awareness will lead to a change in behavior quicker. But I'm going to try not to judge myself when it doesn't. I just know I am on the path and that's where I'm headed. And if I'm not doing it, I'm always acting at my highest level of awareness. I'm always making the decision from where I am now and my level of awareness. So as I gain awareness, as I grow and raise my consciousness and become more aware of these conditioned ways of being and these compulsions that I don't want to choose anymore, every little step counts. Every little step counts. Even if you're having a terrible day and do terrible with anything you're working on, but you can still do one little thing right, and it still counts. All of the positives, just add them up in a column. All of the negatives you forget about because they're just learning. You take what you can learn and you move on. On another note, look at this hair. Look how long it is. It's practically in my eyes. It is time for a haircut. Plus, I just got out of the shower, so it's all like fuzzy and everything. Now that I'm actually in one place and I am not in the van all the time and I have a shower and everything, I'm putting a little product in my hair. Because when you put product in your hair in the van and then you don't wash your hair for a few days, it doesn't work very well. But so right now I don't have any product in it, so it's all fuzzy and stuff. But anyway, I like it, and I'm finally starting to get just a tiny bit of my curl. Because I do have a natural wave. For anybody who's seen my early videos and that long hair you saw, you can tell I have a natural wave, but it's not like a tight curl. It's just a big like wave. So my hair has to be kind of long before you can even notice it. But this is like I didn't blow dry. I didn't do anything to it. And it's already got a little bit of curl, you can tell. Anyway, it is time to get it cut though, because I can't stand this like potentially getting in my eyes. That sounds so silly. Also, I don't own a comb or a brush. I do not own a comb or a brush. Isn't that funny? But it's true. Okay, anyway, that's enough for today. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks tons for being here. Thanks to my patrons on Patreon. Thanks, everybody. Sending you a bunch of love.